Okay, welcome back. Now, I don't know, the sleepy, or at least the peaceful town of Ilaro that actually houses a polytechnic, it has been hit by, more than a fair bit of lawlessness. In the town, hostels where, students of the institution reside were among those that were attacked by, I don't know what to call them, marauding lawbreakers, but the report is that people in the town have been suffering, and in particular the students of the Federal Polytechnic Ilaro. Is that the correct designation?
Yes,
and we do have the rector, Federal Polytechnic Ilaro, architect Dr. Olusegun Aluko, with us here. Thank you very much for coming along, sir.
Good morning,
and
sir.
Dr. Olabisi Deji Fulutile remains with us. So, first of all, the latest attack, I think, was over the weekend, and we heard all sorts of unsavory stories. There are females among them. They got the, very dirty end of the stick because they allegedly were sexually attacked as well. And as a result of all of this, it's not surprising that you've held a stakeholders meeting that involves the authorities in town, the police, the civil defense. Tell us about it, sir. Tell us about that meeting.
Before I go to that particular meeting,
Sure.
I think I just have to debunk some of the issues that have been released.
Circulating.
Because one, none of the students was violated.
Okay, that's very, very good to hear. None of the students were sexually violated. So that was false reporting.
That was false reporting.
In the media.
Because immediately I heard about the robbery case. I went there for on-the-spot assessment.
Okay.
I had a talk with my students that were there, even with the neighbors that are there. They said the robbers did not even have enough time for that because it was like a raid on the street, spending five minutes, more than 5 minutes.
Okay, that's a great relief that, contrary to reports out there, none of the students
was sexually violated. So I want to correct that.
I'm sure you're relieved there.
Exactly, I am.
But robbery, yes, robbery took place. And Ilaro has been very peaceful. But this upscale started about 3 weeks ago. Started with some areas, but now extended to where the students are resident. And we felt very concerned about it. Said, okay, when we heard about the first incident, we tried to get some vigilante to complement the effort of the policemen. But when the incident continued to rise without any reprieve, we said, okay, let's call a stakeholders meeting.
Okay.
We contacted the SC to the governor of the state, Honorable Aziz. So he got in touch with the Commissioner of Police, Ogun State, the Amatekun Commandant of Ogun State. So we called a stakeholders meeting together with the DPO of Ilaro and all the landlords, the yard and all the stakeholders, and the students themselves, including the president of the students, NAS in Ogun State. We called them together. Let's see how we can work together, because I know that security is everybody's responsibility. You cannot just say you want to take it over from our own hand alone. So we call everybody together so that we fashion out how to make sure that this thing is curbed before it escalated further. And that's what we have done. And after the meeting, we arrived at certain somethings, which we have passed on to both the leaders in the community, the landlords, the students themselves, because the landlords and others also complain about the students' behavior. Some of them coming back around 1 a.m., 2 a.m., night crawling, that if you want to tackle security, then everyone must be involved. So we iron out what are the steps to be taken, and we have taken some far-reaching decisions on that.
I'll come back to you, but just, Dr. Deji Fulutile, the whole matter of, well, the way that Dr. Aluko has explained it, it's sort of unlawful behavior in the town, and he's giving us the impression that it's not particularly that Ilaro Polytechnic, Federal Polytechnic Ilaro, was singled out. It is the town. It just so happened that you know, these students were in the way. Now, the whole matter of cultism, and Dr. Aluko will explain a bit more about that, but the whole matter of cultism is also thought to have been involved, perhaps because investigations will be ongoing. Rusticated students, disciplined students, you know, and Dr. Aluko just started on the whole matter about the responsibility of landlords to ascertain who are the people that are their tenants, who come in as students. All of those are going to be important when they
yeah, I think part of the resolution now is that for students to be taken in by any landlord, they should confirm
yes.
their studentship,
yes.
and they should also fill certain forms. Yes. I think they should also work with the university. Maybe they should put that in the I'm so used to it. With the polytechnic, yeah, and to actually confirm the status of such students. But having said that, I think the issue of insecurity is a national one, and I don't think Ogun State or Ilaro is in isolation, is isolated. However, if we are not careful, we will see what is happening at the national level in Ilaro, because if we keep looking at it that we hold meetings, we have called stakeholders meetings, we have done this, without those meetings having practical impact on what is happening, because that is the complaint of the students, that this thing has been happening, we've complained, the polytechnic and the community and the landlords, they've met, and they've all said that they are doing this, yet we have not felt the impact of what they are doing. You get it. So I think it's obvious that there is a need for more action than
is current.
Well,
okay. I wonder how Dr. Aluko will, respond to that.
As I've said earlier, that we took some decisions, and it's as if my doctor is part of that decision making, because one, we identified that there are some people that have been rusticated, that have been withdrawn, but who are still within the town. There are some people that were living in the town without any job. For instance, when I was going around on the spot assessment, I met some students, some group of students, and I asked one of them, "Where is your identity card?" He said, "It's from Imo State." "What are you doing in Ilaro?" "Nothing." "And you came, you rent a house, and you are still feeding. How do you feed yourself?" You see?
And the house is in the community, you usually associate with students.
And the students were even living with him, associating with him, and they've not asked questions. So concerning the landlords, we have told them all the students must be given a form, they will fill it, and they will return it back to the school. Any landlord that refuses to do that one, we are going to report them to the law enforcement agents. Then from our own end also, we have said, okay, all those students that have been rusticated, for one reason or the other, we will place their pictures around so that the landlords can come and verify that this one is no longer a student. You should not be given any accommodation within the school premises, within their area. Then we told the landlords, if you have a room that accommodates more than 20 students, you must get a night guard. Because some of you just build a house, put the students there, you don't even care about their security. All you need is collect the money and go away. We said now, if you have more than 20 students in a place, you must get a security guard. Then we said now, all the streets, they must have security guards. And we provided numbers for our students, hotlines, that in case of any emergency, call any of this line. Then we are taking a step further, that all the landlords should have maybe something like a whistle, because there are some security that parades the major streets. But either lands is difficult. But if there is an emergency, if you blow a whistle, it will attract the security men, and they can easily come to their aid. These are the practical steps that we have taken.
Indeed. Now, when we talk about security in its larger context, and there's no small aspect of security, the low-tech, method of the whistle is better than nothing. But are we able to explore technology as well you know, because one feels that can be very, very helpful
yes,
too.
we have gone a step further. We are working on it. We have told them that this location map, that is, tell us your location. We are setting up those hotlines we're giving to them. We are putting GPRS on it for the students, so that in case of anything, once you just press that number, it will show your location where that thing is actually happening. And from our own end, we are providing Android phone for the head of security agencies within the locality, so that they will be able to have that line always working. That's our own contribution towards it.
Because the other question is, whose responsibility for safety? Whose is the responsibility? Parents normally, you know, you want to be sure that you're handing over to an authority. If my child, my son, my daughter is there, you want to know that he's under the auspices of the Federal Polytechnic Ilaro. But at the moment, I don't know if that is exactly the case, because Ilaro doesn't have, you know, on-premises facilities. Yeah. So they have to go to the town, which other institutions also do. In some cases to augment, and in some cases because there is nothing else.
You see, any student of Federal Polytechnic Ilaro is under the auspices of the management of Federal Polytechnic Ilaro.
Okay. And
that is why we have taken interest in the security of the area where our students are living. Even prior to this time, prior to this escalation of robbery in Ilaro, our security men parades those places where our student lives.
Okay.
And we have been very, very, very effective.
That is the police security men.
Yes, police security men. It's a matter of duty for them to parade, and we even locate some of them. You see, what we did was that we have some vigilantes we have hired. The vigilantes are supervised by our own security men to make sure that all of them are on their beat within the town. An area of the hotspots, we make sure that our patrol vehicle for the students also. But now we have, according to taking the advice of the Commissioner for Police Ogun State, we have handed over those vigilante men to the policemen to complement their effort, because they believe that if all of them should work together, not in isolation, that it will help to advance the security network of the place, and that's what we have done now.
Well, it seems. Meanwhile, has this disrupted your academic calendar in any way, shape, or form?
No, at all.
No? Okay.
At all.
So students
are still on campus. The academic calendar is running, and you know, Ilaro is noted for smooth academic calendar. We have not had disruption for the past 15 years.
Exactly. So that's why it was a bit shocking when one heard of this disturbance to the peace. That is what Ilaro is normally a very peaceful. Indeed, some will even say sleepy town. There's not so much activity going on there.
Not disruption. I guess we are not looking at strikes by ASUP. Are we not looking at that aspect?
It has not come. It has not come.
Well, it was in the past, so it couldn't have been smooth all the way.
Maybe the rector is talking in particular about
the local Ilaro, Federal Ilaro police.
Even when there is a national ASUP strike, we have been able to manage to
still work around it.
Because most times it will fall during our holidays.
Okay.
Mazi Okorafo, we know that education is one of your interests, but we lost Mazi. Mazi Okorafo, Ilaro Chukwu was going to, come in on this particular subject. In fact, I never had a chance to ask him before. I wonder if Mazi is an educationist. When it comes to education, he's always there. Now, CDAs, CDCs, they should try to put in place solid security arrangements, which is what you've talked about now. Yes. Can the police, we always hear of the shortage of policemen.
Yes.
That's all. Okay, Mazi Okorafo is back. Okay, Mazi.
Good morning, Rector. Good morning, Madam. You see, this issue of armed robbery within the school environment and within the vicinity, this has to do with cult members. I think there is need for this school, not only in Ilaro. Where you have such things or such incidents, all those students have been rusticated, and the cult members at least the school should from time to time make use of the press club in the school, be tracking all those names, those ones that so that to help the school. Because a situation whereby the landlord is off campus, they have buildings, no security, no fence, nothing. Even when there's no security at the gate.
Yeah, but that's what the rector has said is not going to be tolerated anymore.
Fine, but the question is this: prevention is better than cure. Let the Ilaro and other schools make use of the youth in that environment. The traditional rulers of those environments and the regional rulers in those environments should be part and parcel of the security network in any environment. Failure to that, you cannot achieve. The problem Nigeria is facing today is all this rustication of students, and they will still come back. And the court members are too many everywhere, not only Ilaro. We have to take precautionary measures now or never, because if you don't take time, they will do what? Destroy the school environment, even especially off campus. That's why I say advance schools. Please tell people to come and do just hostel in the school, so they have enough hostel. People students parking. Thank you very much. Have a blessed day.
Indeed, thank you very much. He spoke about traditional rulers there, you know, and the traditional ruler in Ilaro is involved. He was represented.
Yes. The Olun Council was represented.
The Olun Council was represented at this particular meeting. Well, I suppose one of the, well, it seems to us one of the more effective ways is for there to be adequate housing within the institution itself, which for various reasons we know
that's actually the question I was about to ask. That is there, what prevents the institution from actually having hostels? And also, do you have a record or a database of landlords that offer accommodation to students? Because I think that is also very important, and staying within the limits of that database in order to manage the situation better.
Briefly, Rector.
Okay, yes. You see, for hostel accommodation, we have very little. 90% of our students live outside the campus. But I think the federal government has changed the policy now. Third Fund has started constructing hostels again. We are beneficiary of one currently going on, but that will not solve the problem also, because it's not enough. Then the other aspect,
if 90% of your students, but what's your student population?
About 13,000.
Oh dear. Okay.
Then on the other aspect of a database for we used to have, and we used to blacklist landlords that flout our order. But you know, of recent, a lot of people just see it as a business something, and they started building. So now that this issue has happened, we are going to work on the database and update it. And all those that found wanting this, the DPO has given us his word. We should report them, and they will take necessary action against them.
Well, I want to thank you very much, Architect Dr. Olusegun Aluko, Rector at the Federal Polytechnic, and we're very relieved that you corrected that impression that any of the female students were violated.
Like
no, nothing like that.
Let me just say something about Ilaro Poly before we go.
Very, very briefly.
Yes, I was in that Polytechnic, I think, last year, and I saw all the structures from, is it Third Fund. I actually thought Third Fund was the owner of everywhere, but they now told me that it also has to do with the rector, that it depends on how the rector manages the funds that are available. So I got that, and I think I should just mention it.
So kudos to the rector.
Yes,
thank you very much. That's Dr. Deji, Dr. Olabisi Deji Folutile, and thank you.
We want her to even be part of our mass communication department.
There you
can
go.
Get so many things from you. So please feel free to come and assist us.
Okay then. So that's our program today. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you,
ma'am. So that's our program today. Please join us tomorrow for a fresh edition. I'm Yori Folarin. Bye-bye for now.